Imagine waking up every morning knowing exactly how to overcome the stagnation that keeps your dreams just out of reach. The secret lies not in the external world, but within a single transformative trait: discipline. It's a hard pill to swallow, recognizing that the largest barrier to our aspirations is often our own lack of discipline. We all have moments when life doesn't align with our expectations. Dreams dim, motivation wanes, and the vibrant path we once envisioned seems overgrown with the weeds of doubt and procrastination. Yet, it is precisely during these reflective moments, when we confront the reality of our situation, that we have the most to gain. Embracing discipline is more than a strategy. It's a fundamental shift that recharges our life's direction and revitalizes our goals. This guide is designed to help you harness the power of discipline, turning introspection into action and setbacks into stepping stones towards your ultimate success. Let's explore how you can rebuild your framework of daily habits and mindset to unleash your true potential. When we try to grow and be happy, the word discipline, which makes us think of strict rules and giving up things we want, is often misunderstood and underrated. But discipline itself is what can change our lives, make our dreams come true, and lead us to success and happiness. We can rise above the chaos in our daily lives, focus on what really matters, and make a life that is in line with our core values and goals when we are disciplined. The point of this story is to take you on an adventure into the world of discipline, to find out what it's really like and how it can change your life. People often have the wrong ideas about discipline. We will look at these ideas and explain what discipline really is and how it fits into our lives. Developing self-awareness and setting clear goals are two of the building blocks of discipline. We will also find out the secret to staying disciplined over the long term. More deeply into the heart of discipline, we will learn how important it is to control your emotions and be aware in order to stay disciplined. We will look at how our world affects our ability to stay focused and learn useful ways to incorporate discipline into our daily lives. Lastly, we will go beyond the usual limits of discipline and adopt a more complete way of life that incorporates discipline into our daily routine. This will ensure our long-term success and happiness. You will learn how to use the power of discipline to change your life and reach your fullest potential by listening to this autobiography. This audiobook will help you learn how to be more disciplined, whether you are having trouble staying focused on your goals, stopping yourself from putting things off, or just wanting to live a more planned and useful life. As we start this path together, I want you to keep an open mind and heart to the ways that discipline can change your life. Let go of any ideas you already have, and let the stories, thoughts, and tactics that will be shared inspire you. Remember that the way to self-discipline is to learn more about yourself, and that you have the power to change your fate and make the life you want. Chapter 1. What discipline means. At the heart of all success, whether it's personal growth, school success, or business success, there is a basic quality that is often ignored but is necessary: discipline. To be disciplined, you need to do more than just follow a strict routine or a set of rules. You need to develop an attitude that allows you to make decisions that are in line with your long-term goals and values. Having discipline is what makes goals and achievements possible. It's what turns dreams into reality. It's the quiet force that pushes people forward, even when things get hard or they want to give up. Having discipline is important because it helps you stay focused and organized in a world full of quick satisfaction and distractions. Instead of letting passing wants or outside forces influence them, discipline allows people to focus their time and energy on things that are important and helpful. One of the most important things about discipline is that it helps people learn to control themselves. People today are constantly exposed to things that make them act on impulse, so being able to control their actions and make smart decisions is very important. People with discipline are able to say no to short-term pleasures in favor of long-term benefits. This is a skill that is essential for achieving long-term success and happiness. Additionally, discipline is important for more than just personal goals. It is also essential for the growth and unity of society as a whole. People follow the rules and laws, work together to reach shared goals, and accept the rights and limits of others when they are disciplined. The thing that brings towns together and makes them work well is community service. But it's important to remember that discipline is not something that some people are born with and others don't. It's a skill that can be learned and improved over time. Getting better at discipline starts with taking small, regular steps. It includes making clear plans, sticking to habits, and becoming more self-aware so that you can see your own problems and desires and resist them. The great thing about discipline is that it can be used by anyone. This rule can be used in all areas of life, from health and relationships to work and school. Everyone can use the power of discipline to make good changes in their lives, no matter what age, background, or situation they are in. When it comes down to it, discipline is what makes people great. It's the base on which success and personal growth are built. By being disciplined, people can take charge of their lives, deal with problems in a strong way, and eventually find a sense of purpose and satisfaction that goes beyond material success. As we learn more about the complexities of discipline, we will look at how it can be grown and incorporated into our daily lives to make changes that last. A lot of people have false ideas about discipline, which can keep them from fully experiencing its changing power. These mistakes can get in the way of your personal and professional growth, so it's important to clear them up and show what discipline is really all about. A common misunderstanding about discipline is that it means punishing or not giving something to someone. A lot of people think of discipline as a hard, limiting way of life that stops people from being creative and having fun. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Discipline doesn't mean denying yourself happiness or pleasure. It means making choices that are in line with your long-term goals and values. Empowerment means giving people the tools they need to take charge of their lives and move them in the way they want. People also often get the wrong idea that discipline stops people from being spontaneous and free. The very basis of real freedom, on the other hand, is discipline. People can break free from the chains of acting on impulse and thinking only about the present by being disciplined. This helps them make a life that isn't based on short-term wants or pressures from outside sources, but on their true values and goals. Some people also think that discipline means having a strict, boring routine that doesn't allow for any freedom or change. In fact, discipline means making a plan that helps you reach your goals while still leaving room for flexibility. It's about finding the right mix between being consistent and being able to change things up, making sure that your schedule is more of a support system than a prison. A lot of people think that discipline is only important in certain areas of life, like school or work. However, discipline is a general rule that can be used in all areas of life, from health and relationships to personal growth and fun activities. It's the key to living a peaceful and healthy life. Some people think that discipline is something that some people are born with and others are not. This idea can make people feel powerless because it makes them think they can't learn discipline. But discipline is a skill that can be learned and improved over time. Anyone who is willing to put in the work can go on this trip of self-discovery and growth. By getting rid of these false ideas, we can accept the real meaning of discipline and find out how it can change our lives. Discipline is not a hardship. It is a freeing force that gives people the power to make their own lives what they want them to be. It helps you grow as a person, leads to freedom and is a key part of a happy and successful life. Part 2. The building blocks of discipline. Getting to know yourself is the first and most important step toward achieving discipline. Being aware of yourself is the building block on which discipline is built. It means being able to look inside yourself, understand your feelings, thoughts and actions, and see how they affect your life and goals. If you don't know yourself, discipline is just a vague idea, like a ship without a direction that floats aimlessly through life. Deepening your understanding of yourself is an ongoing process that happens one step at a time. It starts with being ready to look inside yourself and see how your mind and heart work. This kind of research needs honesty and bravery because it often means facing hard facts and questioning deeply held beliefs. It means asking deep questions of yourself, like, what are my core values? How do I get motivated? What do I do well and not so well? How do my feelings and thoughts affect what I do? As a person becomes more self-aware, they become more clear about what they really want and what they value. They learn to tune in to their inner direction, which helps them make decisions that are in line with who they really are. This focus is a powerful tool for discipline because it helps people set goals that are important to them and are in line with their values. When you know yourself well enough, your goals aren't just things to check off your list. They become statements of your inner desires, filled with passion and meaning. Being self-aware is also very important for finding and getting past the things that get in the way of discipline. People can come up with ways to get around or through these problems by figuring out what sets them off and how they usually act. For instance, if someone knows that worry makes them put things off, they can use skills to lower their stress or break down big chores into smaller, easier-to-handle steps to keep going. Self-awareness also helps you control your emotions, which is an important part of discipline. People can learn to control their feelings instead of letting them rule them by becoming aware of how they feel. Keeping your emotions in check is important for staying focused and determined, especially when things go wrong or difficulties arise. Being more self-aware is not a goal, it's a process that never ends. Self-reflection is important if you want to learn and grow, and you need to be patient to let the process happen. Self-awareness grows along with the ability to be disciplined. This makes it possible to live a life with meaning, success, and satisfaction. Self-awareness becomes an important thread that runs through our lives and adds colors of reflection, knowledge, and growth. As the foundation of discipline and the light that guides us through the rough waters of life, it shows us the way to our true selves and grants us our greatest desires. Being more self-aware is like going on an adventure inside your own mind, where you don't know what you'll find. We have to go deeper than the top of our daily lives, peel back the layers of our personality, and face the pure, unedited core of who we are. We need to be brave on this trip because we have to face our fears, doubts, and limits. Still, it's in these depths that you can find the pearls of wisdom and self-knowledge. Mindfulness is the art of being present in the present moment and paying attention to the rhythms of our feelings and thoughts. It is the first step toward becoming self-aware. It's about becoming aware of our inner world in a kind and non-judgmental way, noticing how our thoughts and feelings rise and fall without getting caught up in them. Being present in the present moment helps us watch our own lives, see ourselves with kindness and clarity, and figure out the patterns and habits that make up our lives. As we become more self-aware, we begin to see how our wants and needs are actually connected. We learn more about the things that make us do what we do, the ideals that hold us together, and the dreams that light us on fire. With a deeper understanding, we can make decisions that are in line with who we really are, set goals that are in line with who we are at our core, and go through life with meaning and direction. Being more self-aware also helps us see how our thoughts, feelings and actions affect each other. It shows how our thoughts and beliefs shape our world, how our feelings affect the choices we make, and how our actions show what we're feeling inside. By being aware of these things, we can take charge of our thoughts and feelings, change bad habits into good ones, and develop an attitude that helps us be disciplined and successful. Self-awareness is also important for controlling your emotions, which is a key part of discipline. It teaches us to notice and control our feelings, to deal with the problems in life with strength and calm, and to keep our cool and focus even when things go wrong. When we control our feelings, we control ourselves, which leads to personal growth and happiness. Getting to know yourself better is an ongoing process that involves finding and change throughout one's life. It takes hard work, patience, and a readiness to face the unknown. But this journey has enormous benefits. Becoming self-aware is the source of knowledge, the basis of discipline, and the way to a life full of meaning, sincerity, and deep joy. Making plans for clear goals. Setting clear goals is like having leading stars or bright lights that show us the way and help us stay on track. Setting clear goals is an important part of becoming more disciplined because it's the clarity of our goals that keeps us motivated, helps us focus, and moves us closer to achieving our dreams. A deep, thoughtful look into the heart of our wants is the first step in making clear goals. In this moment, we have to face our true desires and peel back the layers of social standards and outside forces to find the pure core of what we really want. This journey isn't just a fun activity, it's a deep look into the core of who we are. We should ask ourselves what we really want to achieve in all areas of our lives, whether it's personal growth, job success, relationships, or something else that's important to us. Once we know what our real goals are, the next step is to say them in a clear and precise way. Wishes that aren't clear, like, "I want to be successful," or "I wish I was happy," are like fuzzy clouds that block our view. On the other hand, clear and detailed goals give you something real to work toward, like, "I want to finish a marathon in less than 4 hours," or "I want to write a novel by the end of the year." They turn the vague ideas we have about what we want into real goals that we can set and work toward. Making goals that are clear is powerful, but it's also powerful because it can excite and encourage people. Our goals give us energy and motivation when we have a clear picture of what we want to achieve. They push us forward with purpose and drive. With their help, we can make choices and act in ways that keep us on the path we want to take. Clear goals also make it easy to see how much progress and success has been made. They help us keep track of our progress, enjoy our wins, and change our plans when we need to. It's important to keep ourselves motivated and on track to reach our goals by using this feedback loop. But making clear goals isn't a one-time thing. It's something that you do over and over again. As we change and grow, so do our goals and ambitions. Going back to our goals and making them better on a regular basis makes sure that they are still important and in line with how we are changing and growing as people. Setting clear goals is an important part of becoming more disciplined. It's the process of figuring out where we want to go, how to get there, and then setting sail for the lands of our dreams. With clear goals as our compass, we can sail through life with confidence and direction, leading our ship toward our greatest desires coming true. Section 3. The Power of Habits. How to keep your discipline. Each of our habits is like a puzzle piece that fits together to make the whole picture of our lives. These habits, which we often do without realizing it, shape our daily lives, affect the decisions we make, and eventually decide the course of our lives. Habits are powerful because they can help us make our goals come true. This is why they are so important for developing discipline. Our habits shape our lives without us even realizing it. They work in the background, quietly affecting what we do and how we make choices, most of the time without our knowledge. Habits are powerful because they make us do things automatically, which frees up our minds to do more difficult jobs. When we do something over and over again, it becomes a habit, which means we do it without thinking about it as much. Forming habits takes time and happens when you do the same thing over and over again in reaction to a certain cue. It has three parts: the cue, the pattern, and the payoff. This is called the habit loop. The cue is what makes us do something, the behavior is what we do, and the payoff is what we get from doing the behavior. This loop becomes ingrained in our brain paths over time, so we don't have to think about doing it. The best thing about habits for developing discipline is that they give our lives order and regularity. Establishing good habits that are in line with our goals is one way to make sure that we are always moving toward our goals. For example, making it a habit to get up early and work out every morning sets the tone for a busy day. Making it a habit to take time every night to think about the day and make plans for the next helps you stay focused and on track. Habits also have an effect that builds on itself. Making good habits builds on the ones that came before it, building a circle of self-improvement and discipline. Large changes happen in our lives because of these small, regular acts that add up over time. But habits can be both good and bad. While good habits can help us reach our goals, bad habits can get in the way and keep us from reaching them. Because of this, it is very important to be aware of our habits and change the ones that don't help us reach our goals with ones that do. Habits are a powerful force that can help you become more disciplined. We can make our actions match our values and goals by knowing and using this power. This will give our lives meaning, success, and satisfaction. The small daily decisions that help us reach our full potential are known as habits, which are the foundation of discipline. How to stop putting things off. Procrastination is a common but sneaky friend that keeps us from reaching our goals and dreams. It's putting things off, often against our better sense, and it's one of the biggest things that gets in the way of being disciplined and productive. Stopping yourself from putting things off is a big problem that needs to be solved by learning how it starts and using effective methods to fight it. People often think that procrastination is just a lack of drive or time management skills. Fear of failing, rigidity, and a lack of self-confidence are some of the psychological issues that lie at the heart of it. These core problems put up a mental wall that keeps us from acting, so we avoid or get distracted to feel better. Recognizing that you're procrastinating and knowing what makes you do it is the first thing you need to do to stop. Being self-aware is important for this because it helps us figure out the feelings and thoughts that make us put things off. When we know what sets off these feelings, we can deal with them directly, which can help us fight the fears and bad beliefs that hold us back. Breaking jobs down into smaller, easier-to-handle pieces is a good way to stop putting things off. This way of doing things makes big or complicated jobs less scary and overwhelming, so you can handle them with less stress. Focusing on one small step at a time helps us build energy and slowly get through the job without getting stuck by how big it is. Setting goals and being responsible for them are also strong ways to stop putting things off. Giving ourselves clear, specific goals and telling other people about them can give us a sense of urgency and commitment that pushes us to act. Support groups or accountability friends can give us extra inspiration and support, which can help us stay on track and keep our promises. Mindfulness and self-compassion are also important for getting rid of delay. Mindfulness helps us stay in the present and concentrate, which makes it less likely that bad thoughts or feelings will take our attention away. Self-compassion means being kind and understanding to ourselves when we put things off, knowing that it's a normal human trait and not a reflection of our worth or skills. No matter how small the progress is, it should be praised. Taking each step is a win over the habit of putting things off and a step toward our goals. When we are praised and rewarded for our efforts, it reinforces good behavior and gives us the confidence and drive to keep going. Getting over putting things off is a key part of developing discipline. It requires a deep understanding of its psychological roots, the use of useful techniques, and a caring approach to managing oneself. By getting over putting things off, we can be more productive, successful, and happy, which can lead to a life with meaning and accomplishment. Chapter 4. Emotional Mastery and Discipline. How to control your feelings to be more disciplined. When it comes to the complicated scenery of being human, feelings are the bright colors that make up our lives. They are what makes us do what we do, the whispers that help us make choices, and the currents that shape our interactions. But if we don't control our feelings, they can turn into rough waves that crash against the beaches of our discipline and weaken our resolve. So, learning to control our feelings is an important part of becoming more disciplined, which helps us handle life's storms with ease and poise. Managing your feelings starts with being aware of them. It means being able to notice and understand our emotions, figure out what makes them happen, and figure out how they affect our thoughts and actions. Being aware of something gives us a break between the trigger and the reaction, a moment of pause where we can choose how to respond instead of letting our feelings take over. Next, you need to learn how to control your feelings so you can be more disciplined. It means using techniques to control the strength and length of our emotional reactions, making sure they are healthy and helpful. Deep breathing, awareness meditation, and progressive muscle relaxation are some techniques that can help calm the body's excitement caused by strong feelings. This can give you a sense of calm and control. Being able to change the way we think and feel is another important part of controlling our feelings. Thoughts often affect how we feel, and we can change how we feel about something by changing the way we think about it. Cognitive restructuring is a method used in cognitive behavioral treatment. It includes questioning negative or illogical thoughts and changing them with more balanced and positive ones. If we change our point of view, it can help us feel better emotionally and keep our discipline when things get tough. Managing our emotions for better discipline means more than just keeping our own feelings in check. It also means figuring out how to handle the emotions of other people. In this case, emotional intelligence, being able to understand and control our own and other people's feelings, is very important. It helps us talk to each other clearly, build strong relationships, and settle disagreements in a way that takes everyone's feelings into account. Developing good feelings is an important part of controlling your emotions for better discipline. Gratitude, joy, and love are all positive feelings that can help us see things in a new way, make us stronger, and inspire us to work hard toward our goals. We can build an emotional bank that supports us through difficult times and motivates our focused chase of success by purposefully adding moments of happiness to our lives. Better discipline starts with being able to control your feelings. It's the skill of riding the waves of our feelings with style and skill, using their strength to move forward and making sure they work with us as we try to live an orderly and satisfying life. Chapter 5. How Discipline Works. Our habits, patterns, and goals are like blocks that stay in place because of discipline. The steady hand guides our steps and makes sure we stay on track even when there are many pressures and things that would make us want to change. We need to learn useful methods that we can easily incorporate into our daily lives in order to develop this important trait. For daily discipline, making a regular schedule is one of the best things you can do. Routines give our days order and predictability, which helps us stay focused on our goals and avoid getting too tired of making decisions. By setting specific times to do things like work, exercise, and relax, we can make sure that our most important jobs get the care they need. A well-thought-out routine also includes breaks so that you don't get too tired and can keep a good mix between work and rest. Setting clear goals that you can reach is another important approach. Setting goals gives us a clear idea of what we should be working toward, but it's important that these goals are attainable and broken down into smaller jobs that you can handle. This method not only makes the goals more doable, but it also gives us a sense of success as we finish each job, which keeps us motivated to keep going. For daily discipline, time management is an essential tool. This means not only planning our day, but also putting jobs in order of how important and urgent they are. The Eisenhower matrix is one way to help us organize our tasks and keep our attention on what's most important. Cutting down on distractions by making the workplace more pleasant and limited access to activities that waste time can also help us be more productive. Another effective way to stay disciplined is to keep an eye on yourself. We can see how well we are sticking to our habits and goals by keeping track of our progress in a book, an app, or just a simple list. Knowing more about ourselves can inspire us and show us where we might need to make changes. Self-compassion is an important skill to develop if you want to stay disciplined over time. Being aware that difficulties are a normal part of any journey and being kind and understanding to ourselves when they happen is important. Instead of being hard on ourselves, being kind to ourselves can help us learn from our mistakes and keep going with fresh drive. The tools that help us get through the complicated parts of daily life with purpose and meaning are practical methods for everyday discipline. We can improve our discipline, reach our goals, and live a more rewarding and well-organized life by using these tactics in our daily lives. How to stay grounded during hard times. Storms often try our willpower and make us question our discipline. Whether they're caused by personal losses, problems at work, or global crises, these times of chaos can shake our routines and habits to their core. To stay grounded during these tough times, you need to be strong and have a plan for how to get through the rough spots. Changing our habits when things change is one of the most important things we can do to stay disciplined when things get tough. When we stick to our usual habits, it can make us angry and let down. We need to be open to change and ready to adapt our plans to the new situation. We may need to change our goals, break down our work into smaller, easier-to-handle steps, or find other ways to stay focused and effective. In tough times, it's also important to keep a feeling of order. Making a new structure that works with the current situation can help us feel normal and in charge, even if our usual habits are thrown off. In this case, we might need to set particular times to work, exercise and rest, just like we would normally. A planned day can help us stay on top of things, set priorities, and make it clear when we're working and when we're having fun. Another important way to stay grounded when things get tough is to stay in touch with our support network. Talking about our problems and successes with family, friends, or co-workers can help us feel better, keep us motivated, and hold us accountable. Technology can be a great way to stay connected with people and build a sense of community during times of social separation or breakdown. Self-care is important for keeping your physical and mental health in good shape during hard times. This means making sure you get enough sleep, eat well, stay active, and take time to unwind and recover. We make sure we have the energy and toughness to deal with problems and stay grounded by taking care of ourselves. One important way to stay grounded during hard times is to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. It's simple to feel stressed out by unknowns and things we can't change. We can stay in control and make progress even when things go wrong if we focus on our actions and attitudes, set goals that we can reach, and take things one step at a time. It takes a mix of flexibility, organization, support, self-care, and focusing on what we can control to stay focused when things get tough. By using these techniques, we can weather the storms of life with strength and keep going toward our goals, even when things get impossible. Part 6. How the environment affects discipline. Setting up a setting that encourages discipline. Where we live and work has a big impact on our habits, how we act, and eventually how much discipline we can keep up. A good setting encourages discipline by giving people the support and order they need to stay focused, get things done, and control themselves. To make this kind of setting, we need to be careful and think about how to best meet our own wants and goals. One of the most important parts of making a place good for discipline is getting rid of as many distractions as possible. We are constantly being flooded with alerts, texts, and messages in this digital age, which can easily take our attention away from the job at hand. Setting aside specific times to check email and social media, blocking busy websites with tools, and making a quiet, dedicated office are all things that can help you focus and avoid being interrupted. Organizing our actual space in a way that makes it easier to work together and cuts down on tension is another important factor. A messy, disorganized space can waste time, make you angry, and make you feel like things are out of control. A well-organized area, on the other hand, where everything has its place, can speed up our work and help us stay on track. This could mean clearing out our area, using storage solutions to keep things neat, and putting our tools and materials where they are easy to find and make sense. The way our surroundings looks and is designed can also have an effect on our discipline. Not only can a nice-looking desk improve our happiness and drive, but it can also make working more fun. Adding personal touches like plants or artwork, natural light and comfy furniture can all help make a place that is both useful and exciting. The social environment is just as important as the real setting for building discipline. Having people around us who share our goals and values can help us stay motivated, support us, and hold us accountable. To stay focused and dedicated to our goals, being a part of a community can be very helpful. This can happen through study groups, co-working spaces, or online sites. Setting clear limits between work and play is important for staying disciplined in a time when open plans and working from home are becoming more popular. Professional and personal lives can be hard to keep separate, but having set work hours, making routines to mark the start and end of the job, and having places set aside for work and play can all help to create order and balance. Minimizing distractions, cleaning our area, making it look better, building a helpful social network, and setting clear limits are all things that can help us be more disciplined. We can set ourselves up for long-term focus, efficiency, and self-discipline by taking the time to create a setting like this. The impact of social settings on discipline. The people and places we hang out with have a big impact on how we act, your habits, and finally, your discipline. People are naturally social, and the places we live in, the people we associate with, and the cultural rules we follow can all have a big effect on our ability to stay disciplined. The spread of disease from one person to another is one of the most direct ways that social settings affect discipline. This refers to the way people tend to unknowingly copy the actions, feelings, and attitudes of those around them. If we are around people who are focused, controlled, and dedicated to their goals, we are more likely to act and think the same way. On the other hand, if the people in our social group are lazy, disorganized, or not ambitious. These traits can also spread to us. There is also a clear link between social environment and discipline in the idea of social responsibility. We develop a sense of responsibility when we tell other people about our plans and goals, which can help us maintain discipline. If we know that other people know our goals and may even be keeping track of our progress, it can help us stick to our habits and fight the urge to skip them. Our discipline may also be influenced by social rules and standards. Different societies value traits like being on time, having a strong work ethic, and having self-control in different ways. Children and teens who grow up in a society that values discipline and hard work may develop these traits early on. In countries that don't value these traits as much, on the other hand, staying disciplined might take more self-motivation and conscious effort. Social environments have an effect on people not only in their real-life surroundings, but also in the virtual world. Social media, online groups, and virtual networks have the potential to have a big effect on our discipline in the digital age. These platforms can give us motivation, support, and useful information, but they can also be sources of comparison and distractions that make us less disciplined. It's important to find a good balance in this digital world so that our online activities don't get in the way of our discipline. In social situations, it's important not to forget the importance of leading and mentoring. Leaders who are disciplined and focused can be very encouraging to others and encourage them to do the same. People can learn and keep discipline in their own lives with a lot of help from their advice, support, and example. Discipline is profoundly and multifacetedly affected by its social environment. Our ability to stay disciplined can be affected by the people we hang out with, the cultural norms we follow, and the online groups we join. We can improve our discipline and get closer to our goals by being aware of these factors and actively seeking out positive, helpful surroundings. Chapter 7. Going Beyond Discipline, a Whole-Person Approach. Adding discipline to your daily life. Adding discipline to your daily life is a life-changing process that goes beyond self-control and sticking to a pattern. Developing discipline should be a natural part of our daily lives, an important part of who we are and how we live. This kind of merging needs a whole-person method, one that looks at not only what we do, but also our thoughts, ideals, and way of life as a whole. Building a focused attitude is the first thing that needs to be done to make discipline a part of our daily lives. This means making up your mind that discipline is important for your own growth and success. Accepting discipline not as a burden, but as a way to gain power, reach our goals, and reach our full potential is what it means. When you have a focused attitude, you value long-term happiness over short-term happiness. You are committed to being consistent, and you see obstacles as chances to grow. Next, making discipline a part of our daily lives means making sure that our values and goals are in line with the things we do and how we live. Our beliefs help us make choices and decide what to do, and our goals show us the way in which to get there. We can make discipline a normal part of our lives by making sure that our habits and routines are in line with our values and help us reach our goals. This connection gives our daily actions a sense of purpose and meaning, which makes it easier to stay disciplined over time. Setting up a helpful setting is also important for making discipline a part of our daily lives. This includes both the places we live and the people we know. Having a clean, well-organized living place can help you concentrate and avoid distractions, and being around focused, driven people can inspire and support you. Setting clear limits between work and play, and making habits that support balance and health, can also help make a space that is good for discipline. Self-care is an important part of living a disciplined life that we often forget about. It is important to take care of our physical, social, and mental health. This is what discipline is built on. A healthy diet, regular exercise, enough sleep, and stress-relieving activities like hobbies or meditation are all examples of self-care that can help us stay disciplined. We are better able to deal with problems and stay committed to our goals when our bodies and minds are in good shape. Adding discipline to our daily lives requires us to keep thinking about it and making changes. We should look at our habits, routines, and work toward our goals often and make changes as needed. We could do this by making new plans, changing our habits, or looking for new ways to be inspired and get help. We can make sure that discipline stays a living part of our lives that changes and adapts by being open to new ideas and possibilities. Adding discipline to our daily lives is a long process that includes developing a disciplined attitude, making sure that our values and goals are in line with our daily habits, making our surroundings helpful, taking care of ourselves, and constantly thinking about and changing what we're doing. Embracing discipline as a way of life can help us be more focused, productive, and happy in every part of our lives. People often think of discipline as a way to get something done right away, like reaching a goal or keeping our daily lives in order. The real power of discipline, though, is in its long-term benefits, which go far beyond the short-term pleasures of staying on task or feeling good about yourself. These rewards are very broad. They affect every part of our lives and will have a big impact on our future. Building a strong character is one of the most important long-term benefits of discipline. Being disciplined means being consistent, persistent, and strong, all of which are important traits for a person with strong character. The practice of discipline builds these traits over time, making us reliable, determined, and able to handle life's obstacles with ease and strength. Having discipline is also very important for personal growth and improvement. Through making goals, staying focused, and constantly working to improve ourselves, we are learning and growing all the time. We can reach our full potential when we are committed to growth. This commitment helps us learn new things, gain more skills, and improve our abilities. Additionally, discipline is good for our mental and emotional health in the long run. Our sense of security and control is enhanced by the structure and order that discipline brings to our lives. Disciplined behavior can also improve self-esteem and confidence, which can help you have a good view of yourself and be happier in general. Being disciplined is a key part of building trust and respect in partnerships. Discipline in keeping promises and tasks shows dependability and honesty, which are important for building strong, long-lasting relationships, whether they are personal or professional. Also, the self-control that comes with discipline helps us deal with problems and issues in relationships with kindness and understanding, which builds stronger bonds and better understanding between people. Perhaps the world of success and performance is where the long-term benefits of discipline are most obvious. Discipline is what makes people work hard and not give up, which are traits that can often make the difference between average and great performance. We are more likely to reach our goals, live out our dreams, and make a difference in the areas we choose if we stay focused. Discipline has long-term effects that change not only our present situations, but also our future paths. We can build a strong character, grow as people, improve our health, make our relationships stronger, and achieve long-term success by making discipline a way of life. Don't think of discipline as just something you use in the present. It's an investment in your future, a gift that goes on giving even after you stop trying. It seems like the idea of discipline is like a bright star that shows us the way to our hopes and dreams. That we are on this path of exploring discipline is not just about learning new skills or sticking to a routine. It is about adopting a way of life that is based on self-awareness, purpose, and strength. The end of this trip is not the end. It is the start of a new future full of opportunities and hope. We've learned that discipline isn't about being strict, but about being able to give order and direction. Life is like a fabric, and everything we do, think, and choose every day is connected by an unseen thread. Discipline is the basis on which we build our personalities, shape our futures, and find out who we really are. It's proof of how the human spirit can change and take control of itself. We learn the art of self-awareness, or how to look at our inner world with kindness and clarity through the development of discipline. Being aware of this is the first step toward change, because it lets us make sure that our actions are in line with our values and goals. It is the light that drives away the darkness of fear and doubt, and leads us to a real and happy life. We've also talked about the real ways to be disciplined in our daily lives, such as making habits, having goals, controlling our time, and making a good environment. These techniques help us get through the complicated parts of life, stay focused when we're tempted to wander off, and stay on track even when things go wrong. There are some tough spots along the way to discipline. We've talked about the things that can get in the way of our success, like putting things off, mental problems, and pressures from outside sources. But it's when you face these problems that you see how strong discipline really is. It's the furnace where our strength and character are put to the test. Discipline has deep and far-reaching long-term effects. Growth as a person, mental and emotional health, good relationships, and long-term success all grow from this seed. Having discipline is what makes things better. It's what drives us to reach our greatest goals and reach our full potential. To sum up, discipline isn't just a good thing, it's a way of life. It's the golden thread that holds our lives together and the sign that shows us the way on our journey through life. By being disciplined, we give ourselves the power to control our lives and make our dreams come true. Be brave and sure about what you teach others about discipline, because it holds the key to a life full of meaning, success, and deep joy. This is the end of our look at discipline. May the ideas and tips you've learned on this trip motivate you to make discipline a central part of your life, leading you to a future full of endless possibilities and long-lasting success.